singing in Carnegie Hall, an amazing area where musicians all across the globe have one day aspired to perform in. Now imagine yourself being 16 and getting that opportunity. Pretty incredible. In high school, I sang in my Madrigal's honor choir, evidenced by this dress, and we won an open audition to perform in Carnegie Hall National Youth Honor Choir. It was fantastic news. We were completely over the moon about it. But it wasn't just about the news. There was a lot of work that went into it. We did a lot of fundraising, a lot of practicing, and both of those culminated in our final performance in Carnegie Hall. Fundraising was an extremely extensive process. It started almost a year before we even left. Each student had to raise $1,600 to cover airfare, bus fare, and the festival itself. But we had two really big fundraisers. Our first one, those were our sponsor letters. It was a templated letter that you sent to family, you sent to friends, and it explained the opportunity, and it asked for donations. And I sent out 75, a lot of stamps, and I received over $1,000, so my trip was almost covered. Our other fundraiser was Sweetheart Dessert. It was held on Valentine's Day, and it was a really fun night of good music, good friends, and desserts that were sold, and we made baskets that were raffled off. Overall, we made $7,000 that night, all of it to be distributed among the choir members. But even once fundraising was well under control, we had to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Tuesdays and Thursday mornings at 7 a.m., we would practice every day before classes, really early. But what was emphasized for this trip was individual practice time. That was really important. This was a great opportunity, and we didn't want it to go to waste. The most helpful practice tool was our practice CD. Each choir member got those based on their part in the choir. I'm an alto, I received an alto CD. And what that had was in the foreground, your part was played on the piano. But in the background, there was a steady metronomic beat to keep time. There was the piano part played on the melody of the song, and there were the other vocal parts played as well. So that part in the foreground, that was mine, second alto. But even practicing never stopped there. I burned the CD onto my iPod and I fell asleep listening to it. I knew my parts. But the day we were leaving, as evidenced by those bags, we were still practicing. The day we got there, days after we got there, we were still practicing. The only night we didn't practice was performance night. And performing, that was the culmination of months and months of time, practicing, and energy. I was nervous. I was so nervous. Honestly, I thought I would pass out. It was pretty bad. We were the last group to perform, so the nervousness had all night to just bubble up, bubble over. And when I walked onto the riser, I legitimately thought I was going to pass out. I didn't, thankfully, and I felt better the minute we started singing our first song. I knew my parts, and I knew that I knew them, so I was confident again. The moments I spent fundraising and practicing, even being nervous before the performance and the final performance, those were all memories I will always cherish. And afterwards, you couldn't wipe the smile off my face if you paid me. I was so full of adrenaline. I was so excited. It was fantastic. I'm from a small town, 10,000 people, not super impressive, middle of California, and we don't get very many opportunities. But that was definitely a time for us to shine. And thinking back about that image of yourself getting that opportunity in Carnegie Hall, picture finishing, bowing, and smiling exactly as you're instructed, and the audience standing up and giving you a standing ovation. I'm proud to call that one of my best memories.